Go Birds! Welcome back to So You're Interested In, the show where I break down an artist's discography in order to give you, the viewer, the best possible jumping off point in order to get into their catalog. On this episode, we will be covering the punk-turned singer-songwriter Dave Hause. Dave has been playing music in the Philadelphia area for a long time now, being a part of such projects as Paint It Black and The Loved Ones, amongst many others. Since moving away from these projects, Dave has focused on a solo singer-songwriter career since the late 2000s and early 2010s. His music is something to behold as he brings his aging punk mindset into these much calmer and more intimate cuts. Don't get me wrong, Dave still knows how to rock like a mother effer, but he balances these two conflicting styles expertly and gracefully. He will be expanding his discography in the near future as he plans to release a new record in April titled Drive It Like It's Stolen. He's also putting together his first ever music festival this May in the Manayunk section of Philadelphia called Sing Us Home, and if you're in the area, I highly recommend checking that out. Suffice to say, Dave has been pretty busy since venturing into this solo career, so to help you out, I'll be recommending 2 albums and 3 individual tracks that I think will help guide you through the expansive discography of Dave Hause. As always, we're gonna kick things off with the albums. The first full length from Dave that you should be checking out is his 2013 LP, Devour. Searching for his singer-songwriter sweet spot, Dave covers a lot of sonic ground without ever feeling too far gone or out of place. The thumping and driving track, We Could Be Kings, is the type of cut that should be blasted out of a car stereo. Every aspect of the instrumental is catchy and inviting, while the lyrics are widely personable and singable. In terms of accessibility, it doesn't get much better than We Could Be Kings. Another standout is the song Same Disease. A little more laid back than We Could Be Kings, Same Disease allows Dave's emotional vocals to carry the weight of the song. It's a tad downtrodden, talking about toxic relationships and the want to keep these hurtful people in our lives even though we know that it's only doing damage to ourselves. Lyrically, this is one of the most striking pieces from this project. Although that doesn't mean that a song like Father Son doesn't have great lyrics as well. And on top of awesome lyrics, this track has some great grooves as well, with these fuzzy half guitar notes guiding the verses along. I love a good mix of powerful vocals and quiet instrumentals, with Father Son being the cream of the crop. Like I said at the top, Devour draws from a large net of musical influences, expertly exploring exciting new sounds to be added to this modern classic singer-songwriter LP. The next Dave Hause project that you should listen to is his 2019 record, Kick. In my humblest of opinions, Kick is the strongest collection of songs that Dave has put out to this date. Seriously, front to back, cover to cover, this thing will rock your freaking socks off. The opening track, I, will most definitely get your blood pumping and your vocal cords nice and warmed up. It might not follow the most traditional of song structures, but once the instrumental ascends and hits its highest peak towards the ends of the song, the doors are blown wide open, inviting everybody in for a rager of a party. The cut Saboteurs is another one that stands out. Slipping in some fun little production tricks with the instrumental, this thing is begging to be a hit. The mixing is pristine, obviously pushing for the song to be played through the radio waves all across the world. While some people, including myself, would scoff at the very notion of this, Saboteurs is still a wonderful little track that deserves your attention. Same goes for Civil Lies, a song that is seemingly rooted in the rocky political climate of the far gone year of 2019. Dave questions his want for violence despite knowing that he has grown past the need for it, instead trying to embrace loving kindness. It might not stick in your head like Saboteurs, but I think the song's message will. One last song I'd like to touch on is Fireflies. This song is so beautiful as Dave reflects on past life and love, going from being a punk to somebody who is much wiser with their life experiences. It's a gorgeous, albeit tragic, track that relies mainly on Dave's vocals. Much like Devour, Kick covers a heck of a lot of ground, from raging punk anthems to quiet love ballads. Whatever you do, give this LP a hearty listen. Now that we're through some albums, let's talk about some tracks. The first track from Mr. Hause that I think you should check out is Rankers and Rotters from his 2011 debut album, Resolutions. With a more raw outlook in its creation, between the gnarly vocals and rough guitars, this is most definitely his sonic origin point, especially after hearing albums like Devour and Kick. In some ways, it feels like the best parts of the Foo Fighters were ripped out and stuffed into this fun little tune. It's lively too, leaning heavily into his punk rock roots for his vocal performance. Rankers and Rotters is a great look at the earliest form forms of Dave's most recent musical venture. Next up, you should absolutely listen to the title track of his 2017 album, Bury Me in Philly. To get personal for a second, I have such a strong connection to this track. All about moving away from Philly to the West Coast and missing this crazy city, I related to that hard when I moved to California for college. Especially when the Eagles won the Super Bowl while I was still living in San Diego, I missed home and needed a connection to it. Thankfully, Dave had just put out this song and I was listening to it on repeat. It's damning and honest, forcing you to look back on past decisions to see if where you ended up was worth it in the end. Great track, can't recommend it enough. But I agree with Dave here, bury me in Philly when I die and go Birds. Finally, I would like to touch on one of his latest singles titled Hazard Lights, which is coming off Drive It Like It's Stolen, his brand new album dropping in April. Honestly, this is a great singer-songwriter track with hints of pop and even country tendencies. It's an emotional ballad all about being sober and the difficulties of staying clean. It's also a singable tune that will be sure to catch your ears. Whatever you do, don't miss out on Hazard Lights and be sure to check out Drive It Like It's Stolen when it drops. And that will conclude my video on Dave Hause. Links to all of the albums and tracks that I've discussed here will be located in the video description box below. Scroll down even further to the comment section and let me know if you liked any of the albums or tracks that I picked here. Maybe you are brand new to Dave Hause, or maybe you're a Dave Hause super fan. Whatever it is, let me know if you like the tracks and albums that I picked. If you have any suggestions for artists you would like to see covered on this show, please leave them in the comment section as well. Just be aware that I do have a bit of a backlog built up at this point, so don't be disappointed if you don't see your video in the near future. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this every single week, twice a week, along with a show called Stacks of Wax that comes out every month where I go through my record collection A through Z to show off some of the cool pieces of wax that I own. And that wraps just about everything up, aside from my normal reminder to go and support your local record store if you are able to, along with the local artists in your area. And, well, until I see you next time, happy listening.